and welcome back. Thanks for coming back. Downtown Paphos, that's where we're heading. This is Mr. Paul's Breakfast Club, and thanks for joining me. We're somewhere lost in Yeroskipu village, busiest part in Paphos. More people living in Yeroskipu than anywhere else in Paphos. The rumour is around 12,000 people. If you want a bit of money, Bank of Cyprus was on the left there. People frantically walking in with balaclavas and sawed-off shotguns. And guess what? They'll chuck you a bit of chump change, 10 to 20,000, no problem. Now, we're coming down to the former Debenhams roundabout. That's where we're coming. They're going to knock all that down soon, by the way, and they're going to build a jumbo. That's the latest information that I've been provided by my friend in the neon now of Cyprus, because I was having a chat with Yanis the other day. We were chunking on a Romeo and Juliet, that's a cigar, and I said to him, what's going on down at the former Debenhams store, the former DIY store? And he said, oh, Jumbo's bought it, and they're going to build one of these giant jumbo shops. So if your name is Lady Ali and you've got a Sir Neil in your life, well, you're going to be dancing the church next year, that's very, very sure indeed. And they're going to build some more parades of shops. He wasn't too sure about the 27-storey building that I was told about, so perhaps I was told some porkies. You never know. But we'll keep you updated, that's for sure. We're heading down towards the harbour, so if you're very, very lucky indeed, you're going to get to see a view of the blue Mediterranean Sea on a truly, truly spectacality of a day indeed, because look at it, wow, that sky is blue. I'm promising you that the sea is going to be unbelievably blue. Mr. Paul is dressed head to toe in blue, so all that's missing is you. So get yourself on a big bird or a canoe. Start paddling like crazy, because Paphos, Cyprus, the island of love, Marika and me, we are quite simply waiting especially for you. Now, you may, oh, that was a bit of a pothole, wasn't it? My goodness. Oh, so sweet, Caroline. Get your bottom on a memory foam pillow. But just before you do, put Rotota 2 for the superstar, the legend known as Lord Nigel of the Big Guns. Wow. You may notice something, that the three-pointed star, which I think is wind, sun and heated, I don't know, whatever, but that thing that uses a target when you want to stick yourself up the Audi bottom or a BMW bottom. The Mercedes three-pointed star is not on the front of the car. Not because it's been snapped off, no, because we're in a different car. Some people understand it was arriving, and some people have been waiting with bated breath and anticipation. Mr. Lee, our mountain man with a little beauty, and her name's Miss Vicky, and of course they've got a legend, a superstar of a daughter, Princess Layla. We're in the Jaguar, and we're driving around Paphos, seeing what's going on a truly, truly spectacality of an evening indeed. Now, we're heading down towards the Olympic Lagoon. If you're a Maddox family member, if your name's Miss Leanne, well, that's where you were checked in, and very luckily for you, you didn't mention Marika and me. Otherwise, they would have packed your suitcases, taken you up to the bell tower, and then chucked you out. It's that simple. What's coming up here now? That's the Veronica Hotel. Lots of people have stayed there. I was talking to a lady last night, and Miss Jean, she was telling me that she'd stayed there once, and it wasn't too bad a few years back. But they've slowly but surely gone up market, and now they're staying in some Podger hotels in and around Paphos. So that's the front entrance to the Olympic Lagoon, a luxury 5-star beach resort, and it sits on the cusp of the blue Mediterranean Sea. But if you stick with us, there's one or two other hotels coming up before we get to the promenade area. Then we'll have to do a bit of a wiggle and a waggle down a one-way street, especially for Lady Ali and of course Sir Neil, because they do like that, don't they? And what's coming up? Well, the Amalfi luxury 5-star hotel. If your name's Joe Cox, you've got a beautiful wife called Miss Julie, a sister called Miss Cat, and she's got a partner in crime called Mr. Colin. Well, that's the hotel for you. And more recently, well, Lady Rachel and the Cheshire Cat grinning man known as Sir Jason, they were hanging out in there, but they're off to Egypt very, very soon. They like to get around, they really do. They use a canoe because Sir Jason has found out that he can do some nude canoodling en route with the beauty known as Lady Rachel. Wow, what hotel's that? If your name's Dayman, oh my goodness, that's the Alexander the Great. And at the moment, there's some people there checking it out to make sure that it's up to the standards of our Dayman. Sir Andy, Lady Nessie, they're moseying on down in there. They've been there 2 nights now. We've had the great pleasure to sit with them in the harbour. You've seen them on camera once or twice. But anyway, they're checking out that hotel because next week, Dayman herself is flying into downtown Gate of Paphos, and she's going to sort the world out. She's even going to have a word with Adonis and tell him to hurry up with some of these infrastructure projects. That was English. Infrastructure projects that he's popping into and sorting out. And Paphos is coming back as a much better place, by the way. Here we are. What have we got coming up? Mario's Diamonds. It's closed. So, man, if you're walking down with your beauties, you're all right. Pamela's Diamonds and Gold, that's closed. All that's open is the odd coffee shop or two. So there you go. They're all waiting, especially for you. There you go. There's a chap in front of me. He's gone straight down a one-way street. So guess what? We're going straight down a one-way street because we want to go to the Paphos Harbour. That's where the main event is, and that's where everyone wants to go. So that's where we're going. So bugger the regulations. What's going on now? Crazy, isn't it? Huh? No one ever looks before they pull off a pavement, do they? Just because you're in a Range Rover. Perhaps your name's Mr. Andy, and I've no doubt he'll break down just round the corner. We're talking about breakdown, I'm in a Jag, so, you know, I may break down as well, because obviously it's the same engine and mechanics as a Land Rover, which, hopefully, touch wood, isn't it? Mr. Lee, you know what's going to happen if I break down? I'm going to be flying over to South Wales and having a word with you. But luckily for me, you could fly back with me and fix it, because he's the greatest Land Rover Jaguar technician in the world. I mean, he's way higher than a technician, but if you understood, he's only ever worked on Land Rovers and Jaguars, so he's a bit of an expert, isn't he? And now he's moseying on down in the showroom, fixing all those Land Rovers and all those Jaguars that are making him very rich indeed. So perhaps I should get into Land Rovers and Jaguars much more. Anyway, wait for it, because very shortly that spectacality review is going to come into view. So here we go. Feast your eyes and digest. Look at that. That is the beautiful blue Mediterranean Sea. That's the Ocean Vision, part of the Paphos Sea Cruises arsenal of cruise ships. If you want to go on a great boat trip, well, that's got to be that boat trip for you. That's the Paphos Harbour just over there. Wow, look at it in all of its beauty, nice and quiet. There's the old member of staff in there cleaning up and getting ready for another spectacality of a day indeed. Let's nip round the back. For those of you who don't know, there's a car park round the back of the restaurant. So if you happen to have stolen a car, borrowed a car, that's the place for you. There we go. Deliveries, they're coming in. Lots of water on the back of that lorry and a bit of Keo bit. So if you like a bit of Keo, I'm pretty sure Sir Neil likes a bit of Keo. I'm pretty sure that Lord Andy likes a bit of Keo. There's a lot of lords and sirs around who do like a bit of Keo beer, isn't it? But anyway, this is the car park to the rear. As you can see, it's a bit empty, and they're also using it for storing some of the stuff that they're using to make all the improvements in the infrastructure. But look at that for a view. Wow. Straight out across the blue Mediterranean Sea. That's the new sunset viewing point there, and as you can see, there's 1 or 2 men working on it, and they're working on a lot of hours, to be honest, and there's a lot of spectacality going to come. When that opens in a couple of weeks, we'll go and make a special video on it, and of course we'll take you for a walk along the new coastal pathway from the Paphos Castle all the way to the Lighthouse Beach, which is Ferris Beach, and of course we will also pop into the Cephalia's Beach Resort, especially for Mali and Cali, just to check it out. Now, we're going to go into reverse, so a bit of a novelty because this is my new car. So there we are, the rear mirrors have dipped, there's a pickup rapidly trying to ram itself up my bottom because he's in a big rush to get to it because he's obviously a bit late. There we are. Let's have a good scowl on your face. Yes, go on. Very sad man indeed. There we go. Obviously, well, not at a happy stage in his life, that's for sure. But luckily for me, I'm a happy chappy. I have a pretty good life. I live in downtown Gate of Paphos, as you may have noticed. I drive quite an old Mercedes, and I drive an old Jag. I've got a few other cars as well. And I've got the most beautiful woman in the world on my arm. And on top of all of that, we get to meet our superstars and our friends for life every single night in the downtown Paphos Harbour. I'm telling you, the world's not getting much better, that's for sure. So if you like what you see, why not hit that like, click that subscribe, and perhaps consider to come back for a little bit more of our madness. And while you're at it, why not click through to our About page, where you could consider to buy us a coffee or two. I can't believe I'm getting thanked by this gentleman for not running him over, so I'll give him lots of toots. There we are. I actually know him, by the way. Next time I'll run him over just for the fun of it. Why not? Another delivery lorries, or is it a bin lorry racing around like a lunatic? Is he turning? Right, he's turning. But how, how am I supposed to know that you're turning unless you use your indicator? But of course, he gives me that look as if I'm an idiot. And I am an idiot. But don't get me wrong, there's an awful lot of us in the world, isn't there? This is the Harbour car park. At the moment, it's free of charge, but there's a bit of a rumour that the man in charge, Adonis, is going to find a little way to charge us. So we'll keep you updated on that one. We're going to circumnavigate this roundabout once or twice, just for the fun of it, just to annoy the odd person, and of course so that you can get a great view out across the view of the downtown Paphos Harbour. Lovely, isn't it? Let's go around one more time, shall we? Just for the fun of it. And people are thinking, what's this stupid Englishman doing in a Jaguar driving around a roundabout the right way 3 times? But to be honest, in Cyprus it's quite common, because most locals, most Cypriots, don't understand roundabouts, traffic lights. In fact, they don't understand most things to do with commonality of driving the car. Anyway, enough of insulting the locals. Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, hit that like, click that subscribe, and perhaps come back for a little bit more of our madness. Harbour Cafe, there we are. Mr. Chris is setting up over there. If you want a Mediterranean sea sponge, if you want to go on the Paphos sightseeing tour, well, that's just over there on the left. And those roads are just as Sherlock Holmes in a Jag or an S-Class or a Bentley. So I'll tell you what, we're going to have to go and buy a Rolls Royce. My superstar, Lady Anna Starr, was right. We need to get a Rolls Royce. Nice black one with some nice dark blue interior, especially for you. Thanks for watching, and of course I'll see you again very soon.